Hello everyone, it's Pindeni here and we are continuing on our platformer game development series. On the previous video, we managed to discuss the indie game model steps in relation to our game. So now it's time to model the billiard ball, which is the hero of our game. The easier way to model the billiard ball in Blender is to wrap a UV sphere mesh with the billiard ball texture. So on this video, we are going to be creating the billiard ball texture from scratch in Blender. Most people ask me if it is possible to create customized textures in Blender. The answer to this is yes, it is possible. I do it most of the time. I create my customized textures for my animations and for my games. So I'm going to show you step by step how I go about it. All these steps I'm going to show you are available on my website www.pleasetrythis.dev. So guys, please do check it out for more tutorials like this. Also follow me on my Facebook page, pleasetrythis.dev. My other social media links are right in the description below. So let's go ahead and make this billiard ball texture. I am assuming you've already installed Blender. If you haven't, there's a link in the description that shows you how to install Blender. So for me, I am assuming you've already installed, so go ahead and launch it. Please note, it's not of importance to save the blend file for this project because we only want the texture out of it. This is not the actual game, so saving is not important. We are just going to be here for the couple of minutes. We come up with our texture and we close the blend file forever. So let's go ahead and do this. The first step is clearing the scene. So we're going to delete everything. So everything in this cube scene, we're going to delete it. We press A to select everything. We press X and then we delete. Then we confirm our deletion. Then we are going to add a camera into our scene and tweak its settings, of course. So go ahead and press Shift A and then you are going to select the camera. So the camera appears but it's not oriented well. So press Alt and R to clear rotation so that our camera has the correct rotation. Now we're going to move this camera a little up. So go ahead and press G to move it. Then press Z. Then press 10 so that we move this camera 10 units up. Remember to left click so you confirm this transformation. So our camera is now up there 10 units up. Now you are going to press number pad 0 to go into camera view. The next step here now is we need to make this camera 2D. This is because we are making a 2D texture. So in order to do that, we are going to come here right on the properties and select this camera icon so that we go on the settings of the camera. Then we are going to select type here. We're going to choose orthographic so that we are now in 2D. Now the next step is the dimensions of the texture. It is considered to be of good practice to come up with textures that are in powers of 2. This is so that we can improve some GPU efficiency. I mean, you can Google all about that, but we need a texture size that is in powers of 2. So in order to do that, we are going to come here on the output, and then you can see here where it says resolution here. Let me expand a little so you see what I'm doing. So this is our resolution. Our texture, the one I want it to be 256 pixels by 256. So on X, I'm going to select 256. And then on Y, I'm going to select 256. So that we come up with a texture that is in power of 2. I believe that's a good size. You can adjust to the one you want depending on the performance of your game. I'll go with 256 by 256. Now we are going to add some light to our scene, and in order to do that, maybe you can press number pad 0 so that we come out of the camera view. We are going to press Shift A, and then we are going to select light here, and then we are going to choose the sun lamp. Then I'm going to move it a little up again, so GZ, let's move it maybe 10 units up again. So different textures may require different lighting. For this one, I'm going to select the sun lamp. We are going to adjust its settings later depending on how our texture looks. So the next step now is to create the background plane for our texture. So press number pad 0 to go into camera view, then shift A and select mesh, then select the plane. Now the plane can be as big as you want because at the end of the day we are going to come up with a 256 by 256 pixel texture. We are going to move this plane a little down because it's our background plane. So what we are going to do is press G, Z, and -2 so that it goes a little down. This does not affect the output, of course, because this is 2D. Our texture will be 2D. What we just want to do is to help our 3D software know what to render on top of the other, like who is on top and who is below. That's why we are doing this. Now, the next step is to apply material to our background plane. So we are going to press Z first and we are going to go on rendered so that we actually see the material that we are applying to our background plane. So let's go on the properties here and then we are going to select material. We have this icon material here. Then we are going to select new. Then let's name our material red because my billiard ball will have a red color. And then let's go on base color here, RGB, and slide red to 1, green to 0, blue to 0. Now you can see we have a red here. We want to add more power to our red, so we are going to scroll down, find where it says specular here, and then we are going to drag this slider all the way to 0. Now we have a more powerful red, and I like it. Now the next step is to add a white circle. So with the cursor still at the center, we're going to press Shift A, Mesh, and then we're going to select Circle. Because billiard balls have that white circle where there's a number written there. Then we're going to come on Circle Properties here, and then we are going to, the fill type, we're going to change the fill type to N-Gone here, so that we have a nice circle. Now what we're going to do is, remember, we want to put it a little down so that our 3D software knows what to render on top of the other. So we're going to press G, Z, and -1 this time so that the circle is a little above the background plane. So now the circle is there. Now the next step is to add material to this circle. So with the circle selected, we are going to go on material here, and then we're going to press new. This material, we are going to name it white because it's a white color. And then we are going to go here on base color, and then we are going to select RGB, slide all these sliders to 1 so that we come up with a powerful white color, like so. So our circle here is now white. The next step is to add text to our billiard ball. So go ahead and press Shift A, and then we are going to find text here. We left click text, then we press Tab to go into edit mode. We backspace everything and write 3. This is because the red billiard ball is usually associated with the number 3. I just did my research from the game, so I'm going to press Tab again to go into object board. Then what we are going to do is just tweak some little settings on our text. So if you hover on the properties here, you see where it says data here with this A, and then you press it. Let's go on paragraph. So our alignment should be center, so go ahead and left click horizontal to center like so. And then the vertical one should be at the middle, so go ahead and select middle so that our text is aligned properly. We have a number 3 at the center. The next step is to add material to our text. So we're going to hover on the properties and select material. It's a new material, and then we're going to name it black. We just double clicked here, and then we go on the base color here, and then we are going to go RGB and slide everything to 0 so that we come up with black. So we want a more powerful black, so let's go here on specular and slide it all the way down to 0. Now you can see we have a powerful black there. It's a black number 3. The next step is now to scale this number 3 so that it becomes a little bigger. So let's press S and 1.5 like so that we get a bigger number 3. The next step is to remove shadows from our texture, and also we want to tweak some sun settings. So let's go here on the outliner and select the sun lamp here, and then we go here on the lighting. You can see the settings are all here. Untick shadow so that we don't get any shadow in our texture. Then the strength here should be 2 so that it becomes a little brighter and more powerful. With this step we are done. It's now time to render our texture. So let's go on render here, left click, and then let's render the image. You can see this is our texture. It's a 256 pixel by 256 pixel. Now we need to save this image, so let's go on image here and let's click save like so. So I'll save it on my documents here, textures. I already have a folder textures. We're going to save it here. I want it to be a JPEG, so I'm going to go on file format and select JPEG like so. Then I'm going to name it Billiard with small letter so that I know it's my billiard texture like so, and then we save the image. So our billiard ball texture has been saved. As I said, I'm going to close everything. It's not important to save unless you want to just save it for future purposes. For me, this is not the actual game, so I'm going to close it. All I wanted was the texture, so I'm going to close. So here in my folder textures, this is my texture, ladies and gentlemen, 256 pixels by 256 pixels. Thank you very much for watching this video. In the next video now, we are going to apply this texture so that we come up with a billiard ball, which is the hero of our game. If you are new, please do remember to subscribe, like, and share my videos. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much.